Hello there, welcome to Saberjug Gaming, where we always take the high ground, and welcome to something a little bit different. I am going to be doing a full playthrough on this Telltale style game, Star Trek Resurgence. Now, those of you who are particularly eagle-eyed will notice I do already have this on my channel. The reason being, I did a first time playing on it, but I am redoing it from the very start to give it its full playthrough experience. I was originally going to do this as a sort of a silent stream, as it's story driven, but I've decided let's still play it with a little bit of commentary, and we should still have text and dialogue on the screen, so that shouldn't impact it too much. But yeah, if you are a Star Trek fan, you will enjoy this. If you are not, well, you might still. It'll be something a bit different, hopefully something enjoyable. I do know that the story to start with is really good. And if you don't know what's going on because you're not a big Star Trek fan, feel free to throw questions out. I will do my best to answer for you. Also, if there are little periods of time where I go a little bit quiet, that is because something important is happening on the screen and I am trying to focus on it. So, let's give this a bash, guys. It is time to boldly go where no one has gone before. I'm going to start a new slot. I did delete the previous one. Let's get to it. If you've never seen a Telltale type game before, this is going to seem like something very, very different. It will basically be story focused with
log,
me.
Stardate 57931.4. The crew is restless. After spending too many months piecing our ship back together, we're finally about to venture out on a new mission. And the crew isn't letting this unprecedented ion storm slow them down. They're ready for something different. I know I am. Perhaps more than any of them. Fortunately, nothing ever stays the same. It's entropy. The nature of the universe. Change is inevitable. And while entropy says
Classic Star Trek The Next Generation style shuttle there.
Change is good. Our new first officer is en route to the Resolute. Jara Rydek. I know she'll bring a welcome dose of new blood to the crew.
That's me.
Thanks.
No problem.
I'm not great with flying. But these little shuttles are the worst.
Here's a tip. Don't close your eyes. You'd think that would make it easier, but it only makes it worse. Look out the window, pick a star, and just focus on that.
Good advice.
I'll give it a try.
I'm going to see if I can change in the options so that text shows on the screen. I might just make it a little bit easier for people
Sorry, I'm
watching.
a little anxious.
I hadn't noticed.
I'm on my way to my first assignment. When we get to the starbase, I'm transferring on to the Resolute.
So am I.
It won't be easy for Jara to step in at the 11th hour like this. But if she's half the officer I knew she could become when she was a cadet at Starfleet Academy, she'll be the XO this ship needs right now.
Which one's the Resolute? I think it's that Nebula class one over on the right hand side. Oh no, it's that one over there, I think, in the distance. Okay, so this is chapter 1, Change of Station. Let's see. There we go. Now that should make it a little bit easier for people watching. I'm gonna have to look outside. Damn, that view is nice. There's just not enough Star Trek games. I love Star Trek games.
A starbase on the very edge of Federation space. Long way from home now.
I love Star Trek in general. I'm a big Star Trek fan. And obviously we've got the uniform here. This is the uniform style that was first seen in Star Trek First Contact, before being used throughout the later seasons of Star Trek Deep Space Nine. One of my favourite uniform looks.
Commander? I'm not usually such a nervous wreck, by the way. I actually did well at the Academy.
Oh yeah?
Maybe you've heard of the Torvalin test?
Sounds familiar.
It's a tactical simulator that makes the Kobayashi Maru look like a picnic on Pintaris 5. Anyway, I finished in the top 20. Not just in my class. I mean, all time. In the history of the Academy. So, there's that.
Really? That's quite impressive.
Thank you. It was tough. But you know, I set my mind to it and it paid off.
Dude, stop bragging, man. It's not going to work out well for you.
Please place your hand here. Hold it there for a few seconds. Welcome, Commander Rydek.
Wait, you're Jara Rydek? You absolutely crushed the Torvalin test. You finished in what, like the top 3?
That would be me.
Now I'm really... It's an honor to meet you, Commander.
Yeah. Kind of embarrassed yourself a little bit there, dude.
Before. I just came off the shuttle and was glad to be on solid ground.
The pleasure is mine, Ensign...
Paul Calloway.
Good to meet you.
I believe Commander Ermot is expecting you. He's in the concourse just ahead.
See you on the Resolute.
I can't actually remember what class ship the Resolute was. Ah, here she is. I have actually got a replica of that class of ship. I don't remember what it was called. That's the starbase. Hello, Raza. Welcome to Star Trek Resurgence. I love these screens. The way these are called, these are actually called LCARs. These types of displays. You can actually get it like as apps on your phone and stuff like that. Raza says, I was going through YouTube and came across your live stream. Why, that's pretty good. That actually, hopefully that means that they're actually being shown. Raza says, first time here, looking forward to your content. That is not true, but still cool.
So I'm looking for someone with blue skin.
Okay, so he's Bolian. I don't need to be told what a Bolian looks like. Come on, I'm not a Star Trek rookie. I know a Bolian when I see one. So the Bolian is this blue-skinned person over there. Raza says, question off topic. Go on then.
A meal once I'm on board.
There he is. Raz says, do you have access to NHL 94? Absolutely not. It's not even a game that you can get on any streaming sites or anything like that, and it would only work on the old console, so no. None of the official NHL or FIFA games are ever available on any of the sort of previous apps or streaming things, so unless you had the original one, you'd have no chance of getting it or playing it.
Welcome to the edge of the galaxy, Commander Rydek. I'm Commander Jan.
Super Mario World? Yep, I absolutely have that. About 2 or 3 times.
Commander? I hope there wasn't too much trouble getting here. This storm isn't making anything easy. I know conditions.
The original Mortal Kombat, no. Again, that's one that was never actually re-released on any sort of version. So, and it's not on any of the sorts of SNES emulated because it's third party.
Vacancy at such short notice. From everything I've read and everything I've heard, we're lucky you were available to us. Coming from a premier starship and all. To our little research vessel.
You can spare me the flattery, Mr. Ermot. I'm here to work.
Duly noted.
Hopefully I didn't offend
stick to
him.
the matter at hand.
Raza says this Star Wars game looks good, looks cool. Yeah. It's not Star Wars. Oh, there she is. Centaur class. I'm sure it's a Centaur class.
The USS Resolute.
Is it Centaur? Let's see.
She may not look like much compared to the bigger ships, but as far as science vessels go, she can more than hold her own. And she doesn't look so bad considering 6 months ago she was nearly cracked in half, venting plasma, fighting for her life.
It was an accident?
Raza says, looking forward to your WrestleMania event. Yeah, YouTube Mania, going to be happening the Sunday evening before WrestleMania. Very excited.
Test, but the warp core was pushed beyond its limits. It destabilized the dilithium, there was a runaway reaction, and the warp bubble deformed.
Oh, no one likes a deformed warp bubble.
It was more than she could handle. Cost us our first officer and 22 of our crew. At the end of the day, we're all responsible for each other. That's what it means to be a crew.
Raza says, I will try my best to come watch. I would really appreciate that, dude. I've actually made it so that the thumbnail is going to have the old N64 WCW NWO Revenge look to it.
There are some things you can't forget.
Did you lose anyone close to you?
Too many. And to that I'll just say, you have big shoes to fill. Listen, I realize you've known Captain Solana.
Yeah, it's Easter weekend, mate. I understand that, so don't worry if it's tricky to come by.
I should warn you that when the captain announced you would be the new first officer, there were those who felt it was a mistake, that he should have promoted from within. So you might want to tread lightly at first. Until they come to value your contributions as much as he does.
Thank you. Always good to have a sense for what you're walking into.
Raz says, even if I can come by for a bit, I will try. Dude, that'd be more than enough, dude.
Starfleet has assigned us a high-priority mission to the Hotari region. I'll let the captain brief you on board.
The impact of your choices. Okay, so it tells you how they're feeling. He has a mixed first impression. Grateful for my help. Okay. Yeah, it's a revenge theme, so it will hopefully be a good time.
I know he's eager to see you.
Will we be mission ready in time?
We have every intention. The crew has been working around the clock to get the ship ready. There's still so much to do.
Yeah, Raza, we can do something like that. Sounds good, mate. Okay, and here is my second character. So in this, you play as two different characters. You've got a male and a female character, but you play as both of them. So...
Stuck. I got just the thing.
Plasma touch. Brilliant. Brad says you have a lot of knowledge on wrestling, more so than me, so it would be cool. Yeah, I've been watching wrestling for a long time, but I also know that WCW-wise, your knowledge is pretty strong. And yes, I am playing this on the PS5. There's not many. I was saying before, there's not many Star Trek games. I'm a big Star Trek fan, so it's rare we get to see many Star Trek games. Don't sell yourself short, Razzie. You know plenty. Certainly about WCW games. Raz says, how many Star Trek games are there? Couldn't tell you exactly, but I can only think of a few off the top of my head that I've played, even going all the way back to the SNES days. There was a Starfleet Academy game on the SNES. Oh, Chapter 2, The Lower Decks. Yeah, there was that one. There was a Delta. There was one on the PlayStation 2, which was like a first-person shooter.
Nice work.
Couple of others, but not many. Yeah, anything with Star in. Star Wars, Star Trek.
Engineering, like now.
Star Trek's very, very different to Star Wars. Although they're both science fiction, Star Trek is far... Whereas I think Star Wars is a bit more like science fantasy. Star Trek is a lot more intellectual. What do I like more, Star Wars or Star Trek? If I'm honest, probably Star Trek. There's a lot more Star Trek than there is Star Wars, and
Engineering.
It's hard though because
I heard the new XO just arrived.
It's a very different type of thing.
I just hope whatever Chovak called us down for, it's something good.
It's like trying to compare wrestling and football.
I'd rather not end up degaussing plasma manifolds. Hanging upside down makes me queasy.
You and me working together.
And yeah, that's fair. They're both things that it'd be very easy for them not to be someone's cup of tea.
Looks like we got here before.
Lieutenant Commander Chovak.
We were just looking for you.
There is, and not every Star Trek show is something that everyone would like. It's like just because you like one, there's a couple of Star Trek shows I don't particularly like.
We are all hands on deck right now, which means if you are not at your post at the appointed time, I do not have someone to replace you. A point I have been forced to make to Petty Officer Edzelar on repeated occasions.
Apologies for the delay, Commander.
I do not want your apologies. Simply see to it that it does not happen again.
Yeah, the first ones are from like that's the original trilogy ones.
Down here to check in before we go off duty.
They were very corny.
Suits to work on the exterior of
but for the time, they were revolutionary. They were massively progressive. In fact, the first ever interracial kiss seen on television was in Star Trek between Captain Kirk and Uhura. It was the first time you'd ever seen an interracial kiss on television in America.
Systems have been affected by the wide band of emissive activity.
How concerned should we be about the storm? You worried?
Vulcans do not worry. We calculate the variables and take appropriate precautions to mitigate the risk. Right now, that entails making critical preparations, because long-range sensors show that these disturbances will be more severe at our destination, the Hotari system. You have your orders. Do not delay.
Yes, Commander
Roger that.
Chovak. All hands on deck.
Oh, what's that?
All hands on deck. That's what Chovak said. You know what that means? It means this ship isn't ready to go out, and the brass know it. So they're throwing every warm body at it. And they're going to leave on schedule. Consequences be damned.
You won't get an argument from me, Nelly. Sure seems like everyone's still scrambling.
And I get it.
Raza says, was talking with my kids and all I heard was interracial kiss.
But this isn't just
Yeah,
any
basically I
old
was saying how the original Star
model.
Trek, as much as it looks very dated now, was very progressive at the time. And it had the first ever interracial kiss that was ever seen on on national
It's
television.
gotta be tough coming as a replacement. That's for sure.
They seem all right. Something that happened 6 months
Yeah,
ago
these
while they were off on
space
another ship?
suits and everything, these are all
That's nothing to hold
the
against.
same ones that were seen in
Yeah,
Star
you're
Trek
right.
First Contact, one of my
I guess
favorite
getting a
Star
little
Trek
new blood on
films.
board doesn't hurt.
Very good one with the Borg in.
Hold
Borg
on.
were creepy as hell.
Now there's an old face I didn't expect to see again. Hey, Miranda.
You weren't gonna leave without me, were you?
Miranda, you're here?
We thought you were staying on the Adirondack.
Transfer
think
came
he's
in
got
at
a crush
last
on
minute,
Miranda.
so I figured I'd slum it on this bucket of bolts. Looks like you got her back together pretty nicely. I wasn't sure what to expect.
Don't talk badly about one of the best ships in all of Starfleet.
We've rebuilt enough of her by now. She better be one of the best.
We'll see
Yeah.
about that.
If you couldn't hear anything else and then you just hear interracial kiss, that's going to sound a bit random.
He still owes me a bottle of Saurian brandy.
Raz says, did you like Stargate?
Yeah, it's coming back to me
Ish.
now.
Maybe
Ish.
Carter can rustle up
I
that
liked the
bottle.
original film fine enough. I didn't love it, but I liked
As
it.
soon as we wrap up this quick little spacewalk.
The the series of it, I followed it. I could watch it. I never really got into it
So
to
what's
the same
word?
point as
Are you back in
other
security
things.
rotation?
Yep. Still running with the usual suspects.
Whoa.
Good to go. See you on the other side.
Activating
Okay.
magnetic souls.
Magna lock. Time to go out onto the ship's hull, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see some of the other ships from out here. That one over there, I think,
Never gets
an Excelsior class,
Let's go.
and a Miranda class. Yes, I do actually know the names of the classes of ships, not even just the names of the ships. Because I'm that level of Star Trek nerd. Meanwhile, we are about to jump back to my other character. Our new first officer. I think so, anyway. Yeah, this is where she meets the captain. Chapter 3,
Captain
All
Solano should be
Hands.
here momentarily. You'll have to forgive me, I don't know much about Kobleods. But my understanding is you need a steady supply of duridium to keep your cell structure stabilized, or bad things start to happen. And we have plenty of duridium in sickbay, so there's no risk of running out.
Thank you.
Feel free to make yourself at home. And help yourself to whatever you like from the replicator.
Okay, let's take a little look around. It's a nice office our captain has.
We'll be out there soon. Going where no one has gone before.
What has he got? Here's some his diploma.
I can't
Zachary
believe he keeps
Solano.
this around. Don't even know where mine is.
Okay. Some mineral.
The first mineral Captain Solano ever discovered.
Oh.
Always was the nostalgic type.
Ooh, the
Just a
replicator.
sip of something.
Let's have a Ractagino.
Decisions. Ractagino.
I think that's Klingon coffee. Nice Starfleet cup, that.
That sure has a kick.
Jara Rydek.
Here he is.
Last time I saw you, it was graduation from the academy. You'd already secured one of the most prestigious assignments possible. And you were burning with enough ambition to fuel 7 trips around the Necrit Expanse.
It's good to see you again, Captain.
I could not be happier to have you on the Resolute. My only regret is that we couldn't provide you with a warmer welcome. The arrival of a first officer to her new ship deserves a bit of fanfare.
That would be totally unnecessary. I don't need any pomp and circumstance.
Why does she suddenly look like she's gone
Been here
grey?
about 5 minutes
Well,
and
just
already
dodgy
you're trying to make
lighting,
us
but
more
still.
efficient. I like it. As I'm sure you've heard, we've had a rough go of it these last 6 months. The ship suffered some damage, but not nearly as much as the crew.
You'll have to forgive me. I don't really know the details.
Starfleet has been kind enough to keep the story contained, probably because they want to protect me. But I don't mind telling you. We were on the verge of a major scientific breakthrough. A quantum leap forward in warp core technology. 10,000 teradynes per second. The ability to travel at a sustained rate of speed longer and faster than we ever dreamed.
Raza says Star Trek has a big fan base. It does. Not as big as Star Wars. It's not as big within sort of pop culture as Star Wars. The movies never seem to do as big as well. But it still has a huge fan base.
Creating a pressure gradient way beyond what the ship can handle. It was heartbreaking. We lost some of our best people.
Gaming Lord did a stream yesterday, I think, mate.
It was my decision to make, and I have to live with the consequences.
You have to look to the future. You can't dwell on the past.
So depending on what things I say and do, it does change the way characters respond to me over time. And initially it won't feel like it makes a big difference, but later on it will.
If my senior staff had been willing to trust me. There was a lot of pushback from my former XO. I think that cost me his confidence. I don't want you to pull any punches. Certainly not on my account. But once we decide on a course of action, I need everyone to fully commit to the mission. Anything short of that just won't work. And that's when things start to go sideways.
This is your ship, and you are the captain.
I was talking about Wayne Gretzky's record being beaten.
Whatever you say goes.
Says one that he thought would never be beaten. To be fair, all records get beaten eventually, mate.
I'll be blunt.
It's just a matter of time.
Another mistake. Or at least I can't.
I don't like how those green flashing weird bolts of lightning keep going on out there. This place does not feel safe.
Restore the crew's confidence.
I understand.
On a more positive note, Starfleet has tasked us with what they're calling a mission of the highest priority. escorting a senior diplomat to Hotari space. Two previously peaceful and otherwise non-aggressive civilizations now find themselves on the brink of all-out war.
So it's a peacekeeping mission.
I see it as a golden opportunity to not only prove what the Resolute and her crew are truly capable of, but also a mission for which we're uniquely qualified. This ionic storm. Our long-range sensors suggest it's several orders of magnitude stronger than anything on record. A total anomaly like nothing we've seen before. And you'll never guess
Why is
where
there
it
always a
leads.
storm in space in
Atari.
these things?
Exactly. Very nearly in the precise location where we're headed. Where I imagine
Typical.
the interference will be exponentially greater.
But the diplomat will brief us on the details of the rendezvous.
Who is the senior diplomat we're escorting?
That I don't know.
Yeah, I think with all these things, mate, records are always going to be broken. It keeps things lively, although it is good when records stand for a long time. Gives it like a bit of an aura.
There's just one more thing I want to clarify up front. The metric that for me will be the ultimate measure of your success.
What is it?
If after serving as my first officer, you don't one day find yourself with a ship of your own, then I will consider it my personal failure. When that might happen is entirely up to you. But it goes without saying, you have my full support.
Raz saying the Ducks did not make the playoffs. Yeah.
So
I may support them, but I know they're not an especially good
As
team.
long as you're willing to do the work, you have my promise. I'll do everything in my power to see that it happens.
Thank you.
Come, let me introduce you to the crew.
Okay, let's meet the crew. Oh, I remember this way, where he just sort of disappeared and I couldn't figure out where he went. Ah, there he goes. Ah, we're on the bridge. The bridge of the Resolute. It's a nice little ship, to be fair. Nice little layout. Classic seats. Nice matte, like sort of wood finish on the consoles.
I'd like to introduce Commander Jara Rydek, our new first officer. Some quick introductions. This is Lieutenant Handar, our helmsman, one of the best in the business.
One of?
Well, what he lacks in humility, he more than makes up for in ability.
A pleasure to meet you, Commander.
You too, Razza. If you've got a heads up, mate, that's okay.
Commander Westbrook.
Thank you for swinging by, bud. I appreciate it.
I've come to rely on his expert counsel on a regular basis.
Pleasure.
Commander Rydek.
You too, mate.
Such an
Have a
honor
good
to meet
time.
you.
Have a good
This is
evening.
our tactical officer, Lieutenant Bedrosian, who's been looking forward to meeting you for about as long as I can remember.
I've been following your career for quite some time. And I look forward to learning as much as I can from you.
That's very kind of you to say. I'm happy to be here.
Well, I have to admit, one of the reasons I've followed your career is because you're part Kobliad. Because of what you've overcome. Starfleet stands up for people who can't defend themselves. And you were one of those people once. But since then, you've done so much to protect others who need it.
I don't know what a Kobliad is. I've not heard of them before.
So, you've been something of an inspiration to me. Not that I've done anything close to what you've done.
You really do know a thing or two about me. I'm glad I could inspire you, but it's important to chart your own path.
Thanks. You can count on it.
And then, of course, you've already met Commander Ermont. Please, do everything you can to make Commander Rydek feel at home here. I'll be on the starbase. I have an urgent meeting with the starbase commander to get our authorization to get underway.
Ah, yes, this is where things are about to go
We won't make our rendezvous.
a little pear-shaped.
The bridge is yours.
So many decks. Full of crew that are now my responsibility.
Okay, oh.
Science station. The Resolute is a science vessel, primarily. Might explain Commander Westbrook's attitude. I'll have to speak with him later.
Okay, let's go and take my seat.
The first officer seat. My seat. Right now, though, I need to fill in for Captain Solano.
So that's where I will normally sit. But right now, I am taking the captain's chair.
Commander, Chief Engineer Chovak needs to lower the structural integrity field. He's sent a crew out to recalibrate the emitters in response to the danger posed by the storm. We just need your go-ahead.
Permission granted.
Lowering structural integrity field, now.
Entering maintenance.
This is gonna come back to haunt me, isn't it?
Condition blue.
The storm is getting
Okay.
worse.
Looks like they turned off the SIF.
Great. Let's get to that emitter.
Are we upside down right now?
Every time we're out here, I half expect to see her in pieces again.
She's still got some scars on her. It adds character.
When I joined Starfleet, all I wanted was a ride out of town. But this isn't exactly how I pictured it.
On the outside of the ship?
Oh, come on, the view's gorgeous, don't complain.
Sometimes
Yeah,
it feels like
upside
we're
down.
just part of the machinery. Don't you want more than that? I mean, Starfleet is noble and all, but it's still a machine. A massive, massive machine.
Now, what are you complaining about? We got the best seat in the house out here. You wanted to get away. I enlisted because I didn't want to wait years just to get out and see the galaxy. I wanted to go somewhere, see new worlds, look up at a sky no one's ever seen before. Just because I'm
he's
cranking
clearly a
hyperspanner up in
romantic.
Jeffrey's tube today doesn't mean that's all I'll ever be. Diaz to Commander Chovak. We are at the SIF emitter.
Acknowledged. You may proceed with the recalibration.
Okay.
Beginning recalibration.
Careful. Too much action and harmonics will deflect the alignment.
Is that what I was meant to do? Yeah, I think so. This is gonna go wrong, isn't it? This is totally gonna go wrong.
Commander Westbrook, right? Chief Science Officer.
You remembered my name and my rank. Impressive. Yes, I am the Chief Science Officer, and I have the dubious honor of being the most senior officer on this bridge. I know this ship inside and out. Better than just about anyone.
What a very impressive list of credentials.
This is a research and discovery ship, first and foremost. Now with a former tactical officer as its new first officer. I'm curious, though. A Kobliad, or half in your case, is an odd choice for first officer, given your vulnerable condition and all. But if, as an example, we found ourselves in a hostile situation, and you were suddenly incapacitated because you needed an infusion, what would happen then?
You're no different than anyone else with their own individual weaknesses, you
Leave Captain
douchebag.
Solano without an XO. Granted, that would be a worst-case scenario, but not outside the realm of possibility.
In my entire career, it's never been an issue, or caused the slightest problem. And I don't expect this to be any different.
I was just curious, that's all. Listen, can I be blunt, Commander?
I see no reason to stop now.
Commander Sutherland, your predecessor, was one of the best first officers in all of Starfleet. His record was impeccable and his reputation was without equal. I mean no disrespect, but the shoes you're stepping into are almost impossible to fill. He was loved by the crew. And he was one of my closest friends. So I can only hope that you'll live up to expectations.
I don't think I could ever replace Commander Sutherland. And it would be a mistake to even try.
Seeing as Captain Solano is on the starbase, let me give you an update on this ion storm we're flying into.
Okay. Hopefully I'm winning him over slightly, otherwise he's going to be a douchebag the entire time.
We'll shrug it off, or if we're putting ourselves at risk. However, if we learn more about its patterns, its nature, we can come up with a scientific countermeasure. Just a moment.
We've got a massive energy wave inbound.
On screen.
Oh, crap.
Tracing its trajectory. Starbase docking clamps are holding. The storm's emissions are fluctuating, coming in waves. And if my projections are right, we're about to get hit by a wide-band burst of ionic energy. Like a tsunami.
I'm reading power abnormalities all over the ship.
Estimated time.
Red alert.
Aye.
Okay, here we go. It's where it's all about to kick off.
Evacuating main gangway and retracting.
Putting sensor visualization on screen.
With the structural integrity field shut down, we can't take a direct hit.
Time to impact. 1 minute.
Shield systems are severely impacted. We have limited protection.
I need every available solution. What are our options?
We can weaken the impact of the storm with a deflector pulse.
There's a better way.
I'm sending all auxiliary power to the deflector dish.
Send the aux power to the shields. We can't reactivate the entire shield bubble, but it's a directional threat. So we can orient all we have towards the wave. You have to believe me.
We only get one shot at this. We can't afford to get it wrong.
That's right, which is why we need to send power to our shields.
Commander Westbrook, use the deflector dish.
Already working
So one way or other is going to annoy one of them.
It's going to be tight.
Good. Send the pulse on my command. Now.
We got it! This is it!
All hands, brace for impact.
Ooh, crap. Oh, our warp core's not looking healthy.
Experienced a surge of radiation.
Oh, you don't say.
This radiation supercharged the plasma, forcing it to backflush through the system and creating a dangerous imbalance.
Blow out every primary system on the ship.
Just tell us where you need us.
I need you to traverse the hull to the access port to recalibrate the port nacelle plasma regulator.
Okay. Let's try and survive this.
Reach the first access point.
Understood. Do you see the override for the level 1 failsafe circuits?
Affirmative.
Engage the override. It should allow us to stop the EPS flow to the warp engine without triggering an automatic core shutdown.
Failsafe override engaged.
Okay.
Are you sure? I am registering some crosstalk in the bypass circuit.
We need to route the signals so they don't interfere with each other.
In other words, swap these two little things around.
Diaz to Resolute. The failsafes are temporarily disabled. Moving on to the EPS regulator.
Heads up, Carter.
What is that?
One of the discharges coalesced.
Okay.
It's coming right toward us. I'm gonna try to disrupt it with my phaser.
Oh yeah. Phaser time.
So we gotta climb up the pylon. Not that there's really an up, but, you know.
Okay. So you've got like clearly a cut-off time there. Oh!
Are you alright?
Yeah. So took most of it. Just snuck up on me.
That damaged your suit. Energy density is down to 60%.
Oh. These things are just appearing out of nowhere. Oh, crap.
That hurt.
Do not get hit again.
I'm trying not to.
We're almost to the regulator.
My guy's there. Oh! Oh no. Okay, I've got to do this bit again.
So we gotta climb up the pylon. Not that there's really an up, but, you know.
Keep moving, guy. There's another one. Oop.
We're almost to the regulator.
Okay, looks like I might make it this time. Okay. That's better.
We're at the regulator. Opening the access panel.
I am now halting the EPS flow to the port nacelle. We have little time before it causes an overload in the engine. You must work efficiently.
Efficient is my middle name. I mean, it's not, but it's a name. I mean, it's not that either, is it? It's a word.
EPS manifold adjusters reset to neutral. Lines to the port
There we go. Got it.
Almost done. Once I cycle the manifold nozzles, Chovak can...
Oh, hell. What now? Crap. Oh, sugar. Oh, this isn't good. It killed me. Yeah, that I did not move and fast enough. Let's try again. I was holding the wrong button.
Get down! DS to bridge. We just lost the docking clamp.
Crap.
We've got a lot of debris coming down. All vibrations too. We can't finish the EPS regulation in these conditions. Please advise.
We have to
Need
release
some
the ship
help.
from that other docking clamp or the hull will be ripped apart.
There's a problem. The clamps are supposed to disengage automatically in an emergency, but it's not working.
Not working.
What are our options?
The docking clamps are fitted with exploding bolts for an emergency release.
We've got crew out there. That'd be like setting off a bomb next to them.
Maybe there's another way.
Starbase is hailing us.
Put him through.
Resolute, the remaining mooring arm is failing. You need to disengage from the starbase now. The damage to the station will be catastrophic.
We have crew outside and are looking for
We
the
have
safest
people
way
on this station. If that mooring arm breaks, we could lose dozens of crew.
Commander, hear me out.
Come on, what you got to say,
Reverse the
dude?
polarity of the hull, which theoretically will repel the docking clamps.
And repel the engineering crew right off the hull into the storm.
This is Captain Solano. Put me on screen.
Go ahead. Captain, we have a situation.
Commander, what are you doing? Blow the bolts on the docking clamp.
The captain doesn't know the whole story.
I'm giving you an order. Jara?
Captain, you brought me here because you trusted me. Can you trust me now?
You better be sure you make the right decision.
The captain made himself quite clear.
They're gonna get hammered with debris out there. Reverse the polarity.
Let's do it.
There is protocol.
And there are lives.
What is the holdup?
Starbase, stand by. We're gonna flip hull polarity to disengage the clamps.
Yes, Commander.
Repair crew, this is acting Captain Jara.
Come on, guys.
We are going to reverse hull polarity to free us from the remaining docking clamp. Tether yourself and deactivate your boots on my mark.
Understood.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mark!
Ah!
What? I did it.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4.
Oh, I had to push the button. I didn't know that. It didn't
2,
tell me to push the button.
1. Mark!
Okay.
Perfect.
Plasma imbalance is
Oh,
reaching critical
come on.
condition. We are moments from primary system failure.
I got it.
Why is there always another problem? Come on, dude. Keep pushing. We got this. Okay. Whew, I think. Oh, not more of these things again.
Look out!
Save the day, what a hero.
Petty Officer Etzelar's hurt and unconscious. I'm gonna have to tow her back to the airlock.
Mr. Diaz, the situation has changed, and you are at risk of triggering a substantial electromagnetic arc if you approach the main hull the way you came.
But Commander, the way we came is the nearest airlock.
there's an auxiliary hatch near you on the far end of the pylon. You must bring Miss Edsolar there to access the interior.
Okay.
Roger that.
Come on.
Going there now.
Oh, jeez. Doesn't feel super awesome.
I'm at the auxiliary hatch.
Okay.
You go first.
What?
Let me save your neck this time. No time to fight me on this. Get in there.
Not on your life.
Let's not let it come down to that.
Go on. Well, this ain't gonna go well. Bang! Ouch. How'd it go?
We made it.
They're safe, bringing the SIF fully online.
Do it.
Whew. And I'll make this my last chapter before wrapping this one up.
Nilly.
I'm good. Help me with him.
Let's get this off. Medical. Got one wounded at my location. Carter. You don't look so good. You gotta be more careful. I just got here. I'm not ready to see you two get blown to space dust just yet. Now let's get you down to sickbay.
Great.
Let's see how much trouble I'm in.
The repair crew made it inside. EPS flow is back to nominal levels. The SIF is back up.
How does this affect mission readiness, Mr. Ermot?
Releasing the docking clamps using hull polarity minimized damage to the Resolute. We'll have some last-minute repairs to make, but if we reapportion some of the staff, we can make our departure on time. As of now, however, we are successfully moored to the station.
Good to hear. Send updates to my ready room. Commander Rydek, with me.
Okay. Is he gonna give me a scolding?
You disobeyed my orders. Well?
Respectfully, Captain, I made the right choice given the information I had.
You disobeyed my orders!
Oh dear.
Not just in front of the bridge crew, but the Starbase staff as well. That's going to get around. My name's already tarnished around the fleet. But what is it going to do to my credibility on this ship? From the top to the bottom. Bridge to lower decks.
Maybe I shouldn't have disobeyed a direct order.
Oh, he won't like that.
You weren't on board, and you didn't have all the information. So I made the right decision for the ship. If you're worried about your credibility, put your ego aside and trust your crew. Trust me.
You might have won some fans on the bridge with that stunt, but not everyone. Lieutenant Commander Chovak has already bent my ear.
I'm sure he doesn't take it personally. He'll get over it in time.
Mr. Chovak is more complicated than he would want to admit. I guess we all are. And, if I'm being honest, I'm not sure what I would have done in the moment either. You never really know if you weren't in those shoes.
Nice fossil on the shelf behind him.
Let's just boil it down to you did what you had to. That'll have to be good enough for me.
You placed a lot of trust in me, bringing me here. I feel like I've let you down.
I brought you here for a reason. I'm still sure it was the right one. Despite it all, we got our final Starfleet clearance to depart. So
okay,
if you'll watch Mr.
we're
Irmak,
finally heading out then.
knock out the final details of any outstanding repairs, and then we'll set out for Hotari.
Yes, sir.
Oh, it's another one. Oh, I guess I'll do this one as well then, as that was a really short one.
All departments reporting full mission readiness. We've got our full complement on board.
This is my favorite moment, right now.
The start of a new mission is always full of possibility.
The Orion Syndicate could sell it as a drug.
Don't let the Admiralty hear you say that.
Captain on the bridge.
Sit. Sit, everyone. You all know, I'm not big on speeches. We're embarking on the first mission since our refit. Let's make it a good one. Disengage docking clamps.
Docking clamps released.
Looks like we're heading out.
Mr. Handar.
Okay, guys, here's my ship.
That should do it. Set a course for the Hotari system. Prepare to go to Warp 8.
Aye, Captain.
You know what? You take this one.
Oh.
Me? Helm. Do it.
Oh, yeah, we go to warp. We're going to warp. Out we go. Hell yeah.
Nicely done.
Whoa. Careful.
Thank you. I'm fine. Really,
You don't look fine.
What's happening? Oh.
I have to get to sickbay.
Go.
Commander, help me get her inside.
This isn't good.
Well, that was quite a scare. A few minutes more and it would have been one of the shortest tenures on record for a first officer.
Is that the engineer that was out on the hull?
That storm did a real number on him, but he'll live. Just needs rest. You should worry about yourself. Your deridium levels got dangerously low and destabilized your cell structure.
This is definitely one of the more memorable first days I can think of.
My name is Dr. Aram Duval, Chief Medical Officer. To be honest, I've never met a Kobliad before. You're...
rare. I know.
I'd
I was
never
going
heard
to
of
say
them.
special. Your people's numbers have dwindled, despite the Federation's efforts to find a more readily available alternative to the deridium you need to survive. Yet you joined Starfleet and managed to thrive. I imagine the responsibility must be overwhelming. Maybe even a burden at times.
I don't like the attention it brings. Being treated differently than everyone else.
But you are different. That's not something you can change.
True. But sometimes it makes it even more difficult than it already is.
And don't worry, I won't treat you like a science experiment. I just do the science and leave the experiments to Solano.
You don't agree with his methods?
I don't agree with his definition of acceptable risks. Not when the lives of your crew.
It's just clearly a crew where everyone's got issues with each other.
Took a toll. More than he's willing to admit. He's overstressed, operating in the pressure cooker of his own mind. Which is never a good headspace when the lives of your crew are at stake. What concerns me is that now he's even further away from the thing he's been chasing his entire career. The breakthrough discovery. The major innovation. Something he can put his name on. But the more the time passes and the further out of reach it gets, the more risk he'll be willing to take.
I hear you. But that's my job, isn't it? To make sure that doesn't happen. And we don't lose sight of the bigger picture.
Which is exactly why I'm so glad you're here. We need you now more than ever. And I have to give you credit for what happened on the bridge. It took guts to defy a direct order.
Guess I won her over.
I guess word travels fast around here.
It's a small ship. And everyone's curious about the new XO. Fortunately, your cell structure's almost completely stabilized. And I'll spare us both the lecture, but I do feel it's my responsibility to remind you, without regular infusions of deridium, you will not live. It's as simple as that.
Understood.
My work here is done.
In other words, keep an eye on your little magical ring.
Sorry, I didn't mean to be lurking outside of sickbay. I didn't want to intrude, so it felt more appropriate to wait out here. We were all worried about you. Or I should say I was. I wasn't sure what was happening at first. But then I realized it was your condition.
I don't want anyone to worry about me. I'm gonna be just fine. This is part of who I am, but I've never let it define me.
I get that now. And I promise I'll try not to let being such a jerk define me either. You
Fair
trusted
play.
my intuition earlier, with the deflector pulse. I felt I should thank you for that.
Well, thank you for coming. Even though you didn't have to.
I wanted to.
Maybe he's not as much of a tool bag as he seemed.
Now, Carter, the emissions that gave you that burn are quite unusual, like everything else that goes with this storm. That's a combination of hyronolin and lectrazine to counter the radiation effects. That should help speed your healing. She's come by a couple of times to see you already.
Clearly,
Be brief.
a little bit of romance sparked here.
It's good to see you awake again. I was starting to get worried. Not that you aren't in good hands with Dr. Duval. You did take one hell of a shot, though.
So, be honest. How bad do I look?
You look... rugged.
Rugged?
Okay, how about heroic? Millie was looking in on you too, by the way. But since it's just us right now, I had a chance to think about this while I was away. And I thought it was important that I just come out and tell you. Instead of tiptoeing around it. Or worse, leaving it unsaid.
It's okay, Miranda. You can tell me anything.
I know that.
Then come on. Just spit it out.
I'm trying. Let me talk.
Go on.
What I'm trying to say is, we've been really good friends for a long time. But I got back here and I couldn't ignore it anymore. I want to see if there's more between us than just being friends.
You don't have to explain it. I feel the same way. There is something between us.
So, do you want to find out what that something is? If it's there for you, and it's there for me, why not give it a try?
Are you kidding me? I just said yes.
I wanted
Looks
to be
like we
sure
got
I
ourselves a
heard
little
you right.
relationship going on.
Sorry to interrupt, but the patient needs to rest if he wants to get back to his old self.
Of course. I'll see you again soon.
Aww. She's totally gonna die or something, isn't she? That is far too touching. Something bad's gonna happen. Okay, well, I will wrap it up there, as I feel we've scooped along quite a bit. How long has that been? 1 hour, 10 minutes, so it's not too bad. That's not that long. I thought it'd been on longer than that. Okay, but that is the end of the stream. Thank you to everyone that's been watching. It's a good few likes on the video, so I appreciate that. Thank you to Raza is Retro in particular for commenting. It is much appreciated. As he mentioned, it is WrestleMania season, and next weekend, in fact, 1 week from now, I will be doing YouTube Mania, so feel free to swing by for that one. We'll be doing a very special live stream with the Gaming Lord at 4 joining me in the build-up to Night 2 of WrestleMania. So, hope to see as many of you there as possible. It would be absolutely amazing to have you. And we are going to do more on Star Trek Resurgence in the coming weeks. We will also, in the coming weeks, have some more Assassin's Creed Origins, more WWE 2K25. I have to get back into Hogwarts Legacy and GTA San Andreas at some point soon as well. So, yeah, feel free to comment. If there's particular streams you miss seeing, or particular games you want to see me play that you know I've got access to, feel free to throw a comment on any video. Just let me know what you want to see. That's never a problem. Other than that, it has been pretty cool spending some time in Star Trek. Until next time, live long and prosper, and of course, take the high ground.